If you've been eyeing Pottery Barn's brand new Halloween collection, but not the price tags, this video is for you. Hey friends, I'm Sonja and welcome back to DIYs with Sonja, where I share high-end DIY decor dupes that look designer but cost a fraction of the price. Today I'm bringing you a stunning compilation of my favorite Pottery Barn-inspired Halloween DIYs just in time for the Summer-Ween season and their latest Halloween drop. From spooky chic centerpieces to moody candle holders and elegant haunted touches, these DIYs will have your home looking high-end on a budget. And make sure to stick around, I'm also sharing one of the most viral spooky reels that everyone loved. So if you love Halloween, designer-inspired decor, and getting the look for less, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments which DIY you're recreating first. Our first project is these gorgeous fall pumpkins inspired by Pottery Barn. You all know how pricey their decor can be, but I found these irregular shaped pumpkins at Dollarama for $5, and the smaller ones were $3.75. And I was able to make them over for large one for under $6 and small one for around $4. I used acrylic paint in custom mix of brown, yellow, red, blue, and white to get that perfect warm fall colors. I applied 2 coats and let them dry completely between each one. You can add some flour or baking soda if you liked texture, but I kept mine smooth, and the stems left them as they are because they have that perfect whimsical feel, just like Pottery Barn. I painted the others in a cream color as well as a light beige color. But I did that off camera so I don't bore you with all the painting. And I just love how these turned out, and they're perfect for my front porch. If you would like to check out how I decorated my front porch, make sure you head on over to my home channel. Also, I will link a green pumpkin that I DIY'd last year up in a corner if you want to check out that one, how it turned out. Next, I wanted to recreate the stunning bronze cast iron branch from Pottery Barn. Instead of spending a fortune, I went to my garden, found a giant branch, and spray painted it with black and bronze antique paint. I started with solid black base coat, then lightly went over it with bronze, and then followed by another light coat of black. This DIY was so easy, and I love how it turned out. It's going to look amazing in my Halloween decor this year. For our last project, we're tackling these iconic Pottery Barn jack-o'-lanterns. These can cost a small fortune, but I found some thrifted pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns that were perfect for this project. If you can't find thrifted ones, you can easily use craft pumpkins from Michael's or similar stores. For the paint, I mixed brown, red, yellow, and white to create a custom terracotta color. I carved mine just like a real pumpkin using a marker to sketch the face and X-Acto knife to cut them out. I also cut out a hole at the back so I can add some lights. I'm just using string lights for the pumpkins. And now it's time to paint them, and like to give them 2 good coats, and you can use any sponge you want. And as far as the paint, like I said, it's a custom paint, so you just mix the colors until you reach the desired look that you're going for. And also, don't forget to, if you are cutting out, don't forget to paint inside the little mouth, nose, and eyes so no white shows. While the first one was drying, I took the time to paint all of my thrifted jack-o'-lanterns that I got from the thrift store. After 2 coats, I let it half dry before sparkling flour over it to texture. Then dusted it off for a rustic age look. I am obsessed how these turned out. I even went ahead and recreated the same look with all the jack-o'-lanterns that I picked up from the thrift store. I think these are going to look amazing on my front porch, especially when I pair them with the jack-o'-lanterns I created last year, which I will link it in a corner for you to check it out. These DIYs were so much fun to make. I am thrilled with how they all came out. Whether you're recreating the pop pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns, or bronze branch, these Pottery Barn dupes will give your Halloween decor a high-end look for way less. Don't forget to check out my other DIY videos, like I said, including last year's pumpkin decor and how I decorated my front porch this season. All the links are in the description box. To be starting with a wreath. I am going to be making 2 of them, and for this I had purchased these mini skulls at Dollarama, as well as this moss and some ravens. These all came from Dollarama. The twine wreaths I had on hand. These were actually my old fall decor wreaths that I had taken apart because last year I had purchased some new hay wreaths that I wanted to have, so I kept these. I did use them at springtime, but they have been just sitting on the shelves ever since then. So I did take my Athenian black chalk paint, and I'm going to add a little bit of water to it because it is kind of at its end and it gotten a little thick, and I wanted to water it down as much as I could. And I'm going to just dab some paint all over these wreaths. I'm not looking for full coverage. I just wanted to add a little bit of black to the wreath. Now you can buy these wreaths at Michael's. I think I've seen them for around $30 that are fully black, if that's what you would like to do. I often just go to Value Village and buy random wreaths just for the twine. Is it twine or is it wine? Twig wreath. So that way I can just take everything off and use it for my DIY that I will be making. It's a lot cheaper. Usually I can pick up a wreath for around $5. And sometimes I'm even able to use the stuff that's on it for different types of DIYs. So I do this for both because if you are new to my channel, I have two front doors, and this year I want to go for Halloween theme in a more of a hocus pocus theme for Halloween decor on my front porch. So this is why I thought these raven wreaths would look good on there. I don't want it to be too flashy, so I wanted to have something more adult spooky, if you know what I mean. So now I'm going to just do a little trial run to see how I want this moss to look like. I'm almost creating like a spooky bird's nest here. And once I kind of get the idea how I want it to look, I'm also just testing out where exactly I want to put the raven. Now the ravens did have a little bit of a wire on the bottom, but it wasn't enough to wrap it around. It was enough just to hold it in place, but then I did have to use some hot glue and some twist ties to attach it. You could also probably use just a floral wire as well. It would probably work the same. So I feel like it's been a while since I've shared a video. I am really not doing a really good job in posting regularly, but I am struggling a little bit with creativity as well as time. So if you can just bear with me, I am hoping to give you a few Christmas DIYs, which will be starting shortly after this one goes live. So just bear with me. It will be a mix of new DIYs with some good old ones as well. Like I said, I'm finding I have lost a bit of creativity, I guess, when it comes to creating DIYs. And I don't want to just make DIYs for the sake of making them with no purpose. I want to create items that I can either gift or use in my own decor. So I do want to thank all of you that have stuck around with me, and because like I said, I haven't been really posting, so I just want to say thank you so much for sticking around and being patient with me. I'm sure it's just like writer's block, it's a crafter's block that I'm going through. I did feel very excited to be creating these DIYs, and I do love the way they turned out. I will be also sharing a decorate with me video over on my home channel where you can see how I use these in my decor and tying it into the whole hocus pocus theme. So now I'm going to add some skulls, mini skulls on the bottom of the wreath of the bottom of the nest, or the top of the nest at the bottom of the bird. This is kind of to give you an illusion of the bird is a lot larger than the skulls kind of thing. I don't know, it's a vision that I've had. At this point, I felt like the wreath needed a little bit of something else, so I'm going to add these spiders that I got at Dollar Tree. I thought they were a great price for $1.50 for two of these. They look really good. They look really high-end, so I wanted to add these, and I think this was what the wreath needed. And now I'm just going to add some ribbon. Now I did add the checkered ribbon, the buffalo plaid ribbon, onto it. I was contemplating about doing the burlap ribbon as well, but I went with the buffalo plaid, and now I was looking at them and thinking maybe I'll switch it out. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do. You can obviously do whatever you want and whichever one you like. If you are replicating this, you can do it any way you wanted to. So here they are hanging on my two front doors, and I absolutely love the way they turned out. For my next DIY, I picked up these jack-o'-lanterns at Dollarama for $5. And I wanted to create a bit of a concrete black look on them. I've seen a lot of these pumpkins on Instagram. Some people painted them black, some people painted them more gray colored. I wanted to go with black, so I used the same Athenian black paint and just mixed in some sand into it just to make the paint rougher, almost give more texture to it. Now, I have, with the first one, I painted the outside first. Now, you can leave the orange on the inside. I've seen pumpkins like that for sale, where the outside is black and the inside is orange. However, I wasn't loving that look, so I did end up adding a little bit of paint on the inside. Didn't do a full coverage, but just a little bit to cover it up. Now, these are not lighted, but I did buy the little battery operated votive candles that I'm going to be adding to them. And another thing that I'm thinking about adding to them is some rocks to the bottom, just to weigh them down so they're not flopping all over my front porch when the wind hits them. I just think this was such a neat update to them. I love the way they turned out. And to be quite honest with you, you could probably go to your local thrift store and see if they actually have even already light up ones. I just didn't make it to the thrift store, and when I saw them at Dollarama, I thought that they were a great price for what they were and the size that they were. These can range, I was looking online, anywhere from $20 up to $110 at Pottery Barn. So spending $5 and plus 50 cents for a tea light, battery operated tea light, and a little bit of paint is not a bad deal. So like I said, I have two of these. So with this second one, I did paint the inside first. It was just find it a little bit easier than painting the outside and then the inside. And this gave just the right amount of spooky vibes to my front porch. Now this one was definitely inspired by Instagram reels that I've been watching, or TikTok reels. I picked this spider up at Dollar Tree for $1.50, and I wanted to give it a more of a nicer look. So I am just adding some Mod Podge, which was suggested by one of my subscribers. It just makes the paint stick to the surface a little bit easier, because this type of material is a material that the paint will slide right off. So the first step was to add Mod Podge everywhere where I was going to paint it. I did actually end up painting it in another spot that I did not add Mod Podge because it's just the way I operate, but nevertheless the paint worked out fine. Now this is not necessarily an outdoor item, but it could be if that's what you wanted to use it. I'm actually using it as a candle holder. I'm using a heavy candle that I placed on it on my coffee table. I think this just adding gold to it made it look really high end and expensive. You've seen these at HomeSense ranging anywhere from $9.99 up to $30. So I am quite happy that I managed to do this one for under $2. the last two DIYs are very similar, and I got an inspiration, and which I'm sure you've seen it on Instagram and TikTok as well. But these are the Pottery Barn ghost dupes. Now, two of these ghosts at Pottery Barn were around $120. They, however, are out of stock. I decided to recreate mine with some Dollar Tree and materials and some items that I've had on hand. So I did get this ghost from Dollar Tree, and I'm just cutting off the hands, and I will also rip off the styrofoam head. I will not be using that. Instead, I had this clear flat ornament from Michael's. My friend actually picked these up for me at the end of the season last year. I think the whole box of them, I think there was like 30 of them, was, I think it was like under $5. So I just cut a little bit on each side, just enough so I can spread it out open so it slides over this paper towel holder that I picked up at Dollar Tree. And now I'm going to drape this over it, and I'm just going to trim the material, the fabric, so it's not that long. And I actually want to double it up, so I'm going the fabric that I trim off, I'm going to drape it over as well. But first, I'm going to attach these arms, and they did have a wire that I just wrapped around. You can also add a little bit of glue. I did have to add a little bit of hot glue to one side just because it kept sliding off, not necessarily to hold it in place, glue it in place, but more or less hold it in place so it doesn't slide down. I put the hot glue underneath it to create almost like a stopper for the arm to slide down. Again, my scissors are winning in life here. I can't seem to get the right scissors ever. These are brand new, and as you can see, they do not work well at all on this fabric. And they did come from a fabric store, so maybe I'm just not meant to have scissors that cut well. So as you saw, I removed the cutoff part, and now I'm going to add that first, and then I'm going to drape over this other part. I am also going to trim the little rope on top that's there to hang up the ghost. I'm going to trim that off as well, but I wanted to have him hold a little pot. Now these I picked up during in March during St. Patty's, but I thought it looked like a little witch's cauldron, and it looks. The last project I'm sharing is another Pottery Barn inspired piece, but you can actually find similar styles at a variety of stores and price points. I found my candle holder at the thrift store for just $4.99, which I thought was such a great deal. For this DIY, you will also need some beads. I actually got mine during our stay at French Quarter in Disney World. They were in our room, and we ended up with quite a few. But don't worry, you can easily find similar beads at dollar store year-round. To make this, I simply hot glued the beads around the candle holder. I did have to cut them to fit. Then then once the hot glue was all dry and they were all in place, I spray painted the entire piece with matte black spray paint. And that's it. You've got yourself a spooky, high-end looking candle holder for under $10, even if you need to go out and buy the beads. And that wraps up my Pottery Barn Look for Less Summer-Ween Halloween DIY compilation. I hope you found some spooky inspiration to recreate these high-end looks on a budget. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to DIYs with Sonja for more designer-inspired decor ideas, and let me know in the comments which project was your favorite or which one you're planning to try. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy crafting and happy Summer-Ween.